The first poem you ever wrote was the first breath you ever took. Each day you write a new line. Each moment has the potential for your next rhyme. Choose your words carefully. Storytelling allows us to witness the world from a different vantage point, to see another piece of a larger, incomplete truth. Art invites us to listen, to breathe in, to make space for the experience of being surprised. Today, you may see and hear things that resonate deeply with you. You may also see and hear things that are very new or different from your own experiences, and this may be uncomfortable. If this happens, try to be open and consider the personal experiences and perspectives that your fellow Bruins are sharing with you. At UCLA, we believe that the freedom to speak and express one's thoughts, values, and voice is integral to the fabric of our community and transcends our environment. Our goal today is to spark ongoing conversation and reflection, and we aim to do this with performances that do not malign or attack. If you want to talk more about anything that you witness in today's event, please reach out. Know that we are here to support you, both while you are a student and beyond. We invite you today to listen, to breathe in, to make space for learning from your fellow Bruins. This is Bruin Life.
Hauka, may the fire in your heart continue to burn brightly. Bi'i ipai tipai amat kwahan. This is the people's land. Ipai tipai, people. Amat, land. Kwahan, truth. One that is good. One that is right. We are the kumiai, people looking from a steep place. Below my feet is the land. Below that, my ancestors. The kumiai have always been here. We were here before they called it San Diego, and we will be here long after. This land is who we are. She's a part of us. There are no borders here. We are responsible to the land. UCLA occupies Tongva territory. Tavangar sustained me throughout my undergraduate education and early adulthood. This land gave so much to me. She held me up while I learned more about myself and the world. She comforted me in times of trouble and celebrated me in times of triumph. Over time, I felt a shift in our relationship. I went from being a guest to a relative, and with that change came new responsibility. I found ways to connect with her. Kuravanga, Pavanga, Yanga. These are the words she longs to hear. I found ways to give back, to be in reciprocity, to offer her parts of myself to help sustain her while she continues to sustain so many. When we occupy others' homelands, it becomes our responsibility to take care of the land that takes care of us. We must all become stewards. The land is our relative. She holds us accountable. Her struggle is our struggle. Wherever you are, acknowledge the land and give back. Show her gratitude. Be responsible.
UCLA sits on Tongva territory. What does that mean? It means before Los Angeles morphed into a major city and a desert, it was home to native people who filled the land with tule reed and willow homes. It was beautiful, lush green wetlands. It was abundant with natural food and clean, drinkable water. In under 300 years, America has managed to destroy such beauty and health into what we see today. But hope is not lost. As long as you are here, you too have become stewards of the land by doing your best to minimize your footprint, educating yourself on local issues, standing with us during our struggles and fights to protect land, water, and clean up contamination. You prove to be good stewards of the land, continuing healthy life for the next 7 generations.
Welcome, everyone, to This is Bruin Life. I'd like to begin by acknowledging UCLA's presence on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Gambrielino Tongva peoples. I want to thank our Tongva community partners for reminding us that we're all stewards of the land on which our campus sits. This land has sustained us and allowed us to create a community that brings people from all over the globe to learn, question, dream, and make a better world together. Today is a time of celebration and excitement for the friendships you're about to make, the classes you're about to take, and all that you will accomplish. You are admitted to, and you rightfully chose to attend, the nation's best public university. Be proud of this achievement. We are proud to have you here. This is a time for celebration, and you are the reason to celebrate. I'm so happy to have you among this wonderful community of learners, thinkers, and doers. You are a diverse and distinguished group. The oldest of our admitted students this year is 65. The youngest is 15. You've started nonprofits and service organizations, won prizes for debate and origami, and one of you is a world-class Irish step dancer. You are veterans, immigrants, parents, and former foster youth. Some of you are the children of UCLA alumni. Some of you, like I was, are transfer students or among the first generation in your family to go to college. You are from a variety of racial, religious, and cultural backgrounds, coming from 49 states and 90 countries to be here. I also want to extend a special welcome to our second-year students and our second-year transfer students. I know your first year at UCLA was not what you expected. I'm hopeful that you will have a wonderful experience this year on campus. A world of possibilities is about to open for you as Bruins. You might intern at a local nonprofit or with a Hollywood studio. Work with a professor on exciting research on environmental sustainability or racial justice. Become a published author or start a business with your classmates. There are so many ways that this community can enrich you, and so many ways your energy and ideas can enrich our community. Please know that we're taking every precaution to prioritize your health and safety during this phase of the pandemic. The past 18 months have been a difficult time filled with loss, stress, and disruption. I know we're eager to get past COVID-19, and I know we're all eager to get the most out of our UCLA experience. We want to help you do that, but please remember to follow public health guidelines on campus and in the community. We cannot yet let our guards down. The pandemic has taught UCLA important lessons about flexibility, resilience, and how quality learning can be done remotely. But we also know there's no substitute for sharing space with each other and the relationships that can be nurtured when we work, learn, and live side by side. In a community as diverse as ours, with people of such varied ethnic, cultural, racial, and religious backgrounds, with such different life experience, interests, and political beliefs, we will inevitably have disagreements. But if we remember that we all have something to learn from one another, then even amidst our differences, we can build a stronger community. Our shared principles of community, empathy, humility, openness, integrity, respect, and honesty will always help connect us to one another. Like other institutions across the nation, UCLA is also taking a hard look at how we can do better to achieve the ideals of equity, diversity, justice, and inclusion for everyone. Every healthy institution must always be committed to constant improvement. We owe it to ourselves, and we owe it to one another. Every Bruin has a distinct story. Today, you'll hear some of the individual stories of me that make up the collective story of we. You might hear some of yourself in these stories, while others might seem totally unknown to you. Your story does not have to be the same as someone else's. Your Bruin life need not look like anyone else's, but I encourage you to listen to one another's voices as you write your own Bruin story. Leaders are listeners. As a leader, I've learned a lot by listening to the ideas of others while at UCLA, and I hope you will too. There's another serious topic I need to raise. It's an issue all communities must take seriously. Sexual assault, relationship violence, and stalking violate the dignity and safety of individuals as well as the values of our community. They are also crimes, and they will be treated as such. Pay attention to the Student Conduct Code and the University of California's policy on sexual violence. Understand what consent means. Know your own boundaries and respect the boundaries of others. If you encounter sexual misconduct of any kind, please report it immediately to UCLA's Title IX office or off-campus authorities. As you begin the fall quarter, know that UCLA faculty and staff are here to help you succeed and support you with your needs, whether in planning your class schedule, seeking financial assistance, finding clubs to join, or helping you adjust to the new, exciting, challenging, and brilliant place that is your home here at UCLA. Welcome home. We're so glad to have you. And now, enjoy the program.
One, two, three, four. When I was younger, my brothers and I, we would go work with my dad. He was a carpenter, like Jesus. And he had a big Mexican bigote that I always wanted. You know, my dad, like a lot of undocumented workers, was proud of the work that he did, that he could build something from nothing. And I remember going to work with my dad, and he would always tell me, "Hey, mijo, get your hands out of your pocket y ponte a trabajar." My dad died 5 years ago without ever getting legal documentation. He got caught with drugs when he was 18 years old, an unforgiving crime. So he was always living in the shadows. I never got as good as my dad in carpentry. I could never grow that Mexican bigote, but I knew I wanted to build something. And I wanted to clap back at all those people that would talk about my dad as gangbangers, as criminals, as lazy. Lazy. I remember my dad, he used to tell me, "Hey, mijo, how long does it take for a Mexican to..." "Oh, they're done." See, my dad used to love to tell jokes and stories and histories, but those all went with him. There's a saying that when an elder dies, that a library is gone forever. I lost that chance to tell my dad's story, but he never let me put my head down, put my hands in my pocket. "Hey, ponte a trabajar," my dad used to tell me. That's why I became a doctoral student at UCLA in the Chicano Studies Department. Because I didn't want anybody to tell that story about my dad, about who he was, where he came from, why he's here. I'm gonna tell that story. I mean, who's gonna write the stories about the lowriders, the swamp meets, the cucarachas, la bamba? Who's gonna write books about vegan tacos, churros, copal? Yeah, I said vegan tacos. So we gotta tell our own stories. And I realized that the world needs us to remind them that immigrants feel joy and pain, love and vergüenza, and they sure as hell don't like living in cages. We gotta tell our stories, because if we don't, somebody will. And you all have just been accepted to one of the most prestigious and respected universities in the galaxy. Your palabra will go far. So tell us a story that's never been told. Remember something that's been forgotten. Turn his story into her story, into our story. And we got enough walls. Build a bridge. It's not gonna be easy, but like my dad always told me, "Hey, mijo, put that phone down and let's get to work." I'm not that little chamaco following my dad around anymore. I can't build things with wood, but at UCLA, I learned how to find stories, archives, old poems, prayers, and I build story, I build history, and I learned how to do that right here. This is my brother, this is my carnal, that's my wife, and that's my son Nicolas, named after my dad. And we got the son. Here we go. Organized for answers. In New York, the young lords fought against wars. The Stonewall Rebellion remained true for the rights of the LGBTQA. Down with native rights, no shame in their game. In the Campos of California, there was Filipinos who first laid down the boycott. Isang Baksak, one rise, one fall. You come for one, you come for all. You come for one, you come for all. But see today, Arizona and Alabama, they don't play. They carving out racist lives like it's made out of clay. I stand with Emmett, Trayvon, Oscar Bell, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and all those stories, yo, we can't forget to tell. Telling you, I'd rather be blind than to stay quiet on the bed for my people to hunt like prey. Hunt like prey. Yo, so walk with me and let's rise with the sun. Pick up your heart, put down the gun. Kiss your mama, just for fun, and realize that today we be one in the hood, we be one in my home, we be one in the north, we be one in the east, we be one in my heart, we be one, we be one, we be one.
When I think about how I started my time at UCLA versus where I'm at now, talking to you all as your 2021-22 student body president, I sometimes am amazed at how much I have grown and changed. I know most of you just went through orientation, and I still remember my own orientation week. I remember sitting with students in my discussion group. I tried really hard to be an active participant, but felt extremely overwhelmed. At one point, I stepped away, sat down on the Kirchhoff steps, and called my mom sobbing. No quiero estar aquí. I don't belong here. I want to go home. As her youngest child and the first in my family to attend college, she got emotional too. At first, she wanted to come and pick me up. Then, we kept talking, and she encouraged me to lean on my faith and pray when I was scared. After about 20 minutes, I returned to my group. Throughout my entire time and my whole freshman year, I often called my mom. Adjusting to the university environment was very rough, and her encouragement was really important in navigating the obstacles that I know many of you will face. I want you to know that it's okay to sometimes feel overwhelmed. You will apply for things and sometimes not get accepted. You may experience anxiety for the first time. In those moments, it's important to lean on those who love you and will uplift you. Some of those people will be students here at UCLA. For me, finding community was essential to building my confidence and staying motivated. Community in the Academic Affairs Commission, which expanded my knowledge on student advocacy. Community with my friends that FaceTime me during their get-togethers, so I felt included even when I was living at home this last year. And finally, the community I never expected to be a part of, my sorority, Lambda Theta Nu. All of these spaces have reminded me that I deserve to be here and have a lot to offer, even when I don't always feel that way. Your community does not have to be student government or Greek life. You can find communities to uplift you in your res hall, a student org, or even a classroom in Volter Hall. It can be easy to feel lost at UCLA because it is such a big place. But putting yourself out there and attending socials can be defining moments that will result in you finding your passions and creating lifelong friendships. Having grown so much through my various communities, I wanted to ensure that every student had access to the same kinds of opportunities as I did. So I decided to run for USAC. Now as president, I strive to center care in all aspects of student life. I want to create initiatives that will support students in accessing UCLA's resources and will assist them in navigating campus policies. I end by encouraging you all to take advantage of every opportunity that comes your way. Don't underestimate your ability to do new things. You are all talented, intelligent, and passionate individuals. Remember that caring for each other is vital in our community. Pay attention to public health guidelines and do your part and what you can do to keep everyone safe. Your future at this university is so bright, and I am so excited for all that UCLA has in store for you. I look forward to what we will accomplish together this year. Go Bruins!
Hello, New Bruins. I'm Yolanda Copeland Morgan, Vice Provost for Enrollment Management. I'm really excited to welcome the classes of 2020 and 2021 to UCLA's campus. You were admitted because your academic performance, leadership, and other achievements demonstrated that you can succeed at UCLA. And I want to make sure you take advantage of all the incredible opportunities available to you. So here are 3 things I want you to remember. First, engage with your professors. They will challenge and inspire you and do everything they can to help you succeed, but they want you to actively participate with them. Seek them out during office hours. Ask questions. Share ideas with them. They want to hear from you, and they will welcome your interest. Second, there is a community here for you, and I urge you to find it. Your class is really amazing. Your class represents the most academically talented and diverse classes in UCLA's history. What an opportunity for you to meet other students who share your interests and your passions. They come from all socioeconomic, ethnic, and racial backgrounds, and from California, the United States, and from all over the world. And even though UCLA is a large university, it is totally student-centered. You will meet students who share your interests in your classes and labs, in the residence halls, in dining facilities, and in our legendary athletic facilities. So don't wait to connect with your classmates and find your community. And third, there may be times when you feel overwhelmed and just want someone to talk to. That's pretty normal. If you do, please take advantage of the many services available to you, including healthcare facilities, counseling and peer mentoring, student groups, as well as our many skilled and compassionate staff waiting to assist you. If you are afraid to ask for help because you think it's a sign of weakness, I can tell you that it is exactly the opposite. It is a sign of strength. In my work, I reach out to colleagues all the time. If I can do it, you can too. So remember what I've suggested. Engage with your faculty, connect with fellow students, ask for help if you need it. And I want to close by talking about our true Bruin values that are close to my heart. These values are respect, accountability, integrity, service, and excellence. The university expects all students, faculty, and staff to honor and uphold them. I urge you to let these values guide you. And if you do, you will make the most of your opportunities here. Your UCLA experience will be all that you dreamed that it could be if you take this advice. Go Bruins.
When I walk into a gym and start warming up, I feel the usual quizzical stares. This isn't my first tournament. I've been playing basketball since I was 5 years old. When I walk past a team and hear them whisper, "They have an Asian?" I'm unfazed. This happens to me all the time. The painful absence of Asian Americans in sports is no secret, but instead of feeling discouraged, I feel determined. When I start playing against the same people who doubted me, I let my game speak for itself. Since the 8th grade, I've been determined to play professional basketball. I knew this meant that I had to overcome many fears and obstacles. I originally started playing close to home at Baylor University in Texas. After my sophomore year, I decided to transfer. I wanted a new adventure, and the family environment and the UCLA women's basketball team drew me in. I'm someone who likes routine, so volunteering for change was really scary. But I understood that everything great in my life has pushed me outside of my comfort zone. From making the USA Youth Basketball Team and becoming a McDonald's All-American to being with you here today, virtually. None of this would have happened if I wasn't relentless. My calling is to use the platform I have as a student athlete and be a role model for Asian American youth. I want them to be encouraged to pursue their own goals and defy stereotypes. Representation is so important, whether it be on the court or in politics. Having role models who look like you is vital. It gives you a sense of hope. And this matters now more than ever. In the past year, the scapegoating of Asian Americans for COVID-19 and references like the Chinese virus and Kung Flu have led to a sharp rise in hate crimes. People all across the country and world who look like me are targets, experiencing violence fueled by racism. Since the beginning of the pandemic, I have been speaking out against this racism. As more and more people stand up against this ignorance, we are able to highlight what the Asian American community is experiencing and call people to do better. At UCLA, you will have countless opportunities to learn about others. Be open and don't limit yourselves. This world needs us to fight for what is right, even if it is against the status quo. Now is the time to act against the injustices that are so ingrained in this nation's history.
Hi, I'm Adriana Galvan, Dean of Undergraduate Education at UCLA. It is my sincere pleasure to welcome you to the 2021-22 academic year. I think it's going to be a good one. Whether you are a new student or a returning student, I imagine one of the reasons you chose UCLA is because of our outstanding faculty. Not only are they experts in the field, but they care deeply about teaching and learning and supporting our students. I hope you get to know them in office hours or in seminars and find creative and innovative ways to contribute to UCLA and to the greater community of Los Angeles. And now, here are some of our great faculty.
Welcome to the 2021 school year and to campus. I don't know about you, but I can't wait to be back in person in the classroom.
This was a really long and difficult year for all of us, and especially challenging for some.
But we got through it because of our sheer determination, desire, and pulling together.
My colleagues and I are looking forward to being with you to rebuilding our communities in better and stronger ways.
It's going to be a year of transition for everybody, but know that the faculty are here to support you. A great resource for you is office hours. This is time set aside each week by your instructor to help ensure your mastery of the material. It can be a great way to get to know each other too.
One of the unique things about being a part of our UCLA community is that we have the opportunity to learn from one another. I know I learned as a faculty member because of the amazing intellect that students bring to class, ideas, insights, and experiences. But we also ask you to come and ask about our ideas, our experiences, and our research.
And if you have ideas for your own research projects, especially ones that engage with the communities around LA, you're sure to be able to find a faculty member to assist you.
You can find more information at the undergrad research portal. Up on the Hill, you can connect with the faculty in residence. This is a group of about 20 faculty members from across campus who live, eat, teach, and work with students up in the dorms.
So I want to say thank you for being a part of our community. Thank you for enduring what we've been through, and let's make this an amazing year.
Like many undergrads at UCLA, I work in a research lab. Toward the end of winter quarter, I was feeling really overwhelmed as I prepared for a lab meeting with my PhD student mentor. I was studying for the MCAT and dealing with some personal health challenges. And before the meeting, my mentor texted me and asked, "How are your spoons today?" I texted back and said, "Low, I haven't even been outside in days." They suggested a walking meeting over the phone instead, and by the end of our conversation, I felt like I'd actually gained a spoon instead of losing one. After that, we made all of our meetings walking meetings. So, what's the deal with spoons? Well, spoon theory is the idea of representing energy with spoons. Everyone has a limited number of spoons per day, and things like how well you slept, pain, stress, all of that can affect how many spoons you have. Every activity costs some number of spoons, and once you're out of spoons, you have a really difficult time finding energy for anything else. For example, sitting in a Zoom lecture may cost one person 1 spoon and another person 3 spoons. Spoon theory is really important to me. I actually have a genetic disorder that caused my mobility to degenerate, and I've had to relearn how to do a lot of things like walking. For chronic illness warriors like me, we may have fewer spoons to spend per day, and recharging our spoons, it can actually take longer. You're likely interacting with people dealing with chronic illnesses or disabilities all the time and not even know it. My disability shapes me. It informs my changing identity, my relationship with myself, and especially the world. I like to think of myself as an invisible illness warrior because even though the battle is constant, so is my strength. Spoon theory has helped me to prioritize my energy and vocalize my needs not only for myself, but with others. Viewing my energy as spoons per day gave me a way to take charge of my life. I started looking carefully at where I focused my energy and became sensitive to what drained it. I found things that refreshed my spoons, like snuggling with my cats. And I developed greater patience with myself and appreciation for every little thing that I'm able to do. Finding my voice and courage as a newly disabled person was closely tied to my experiences at UCLA. It was staff and students in programs like the Care Extended program that made me feel empowered while I navigated disability. There are people at UCLA who foster opportunities and are ready to provide the support we all need to succeed. As you progress through your time here, remember your spoons and check in with others about their spoons. Let's open up a dialogue so that we can keep building a community that supports us all. Bruins forever!
Silently.
I know, literally.
The virtual environment is so unique.
Starting a Zoom call and inviting all of my friends.
And we shared the screen for that.
This whole time has been reconnecting with stuff that we've been into. So as soon as the pandemic started, I moved back home and I just spent all this time by myself and was watching so many movies every week. And then I realized these teleparty links exist so we can have a watch party over Zoom.
So I don't know if you guys have tried Discord. There's this voice channel where you could listen to the same music at the same time. We had the set playing, but we also were on Zoom while we're studying. And I don't know, that has just given me so much fuel.
One of the discussion groups that I facilitate, we made a 24-hour playlist of queer and trans music. And the only stipulation was if it's gay, if it's queer, put it on the playlist. And it ended up being 24 hours, obviously, because 13 people making a playlist, there's no self-control.
Drop the playlist, literally drop it in the chat.
Seriously, Arlene's playlist on Alma's Discord, let's get it going.
Oh my gosh, say less, say less. So I'm originally from Hawaii. And so when I went back home, literally 3 hours behind everyone, I just felt so disconnected from people. And the one thing that I found really helpful is sending voice memos on iMessage and things like that. So I would just record myself, be like, "Hey bestie, I'm doing this today," or "What are you doing?" And she would listen to it whenever she was available, and then she would send one back.
I will say I've been lucky enough to receive one of Sean's voice memos. And most of the time it's just him laughing, which is the funniest thing ever. Thank you, Sean, for sending those to me.
Of course. I'll send you more. Don't worry. They're never going to end.
I remember when I came to college, I had these huge, big hopes and dreams. But what I've learned from the pandemic is that I want to define my success and my fulfillment by the, quote unquote, smaller things in life. Just kind of giving my grandma a hug now that we're both fully vaccinated. It's things like that I want to celebrate.
The pandemic really showed, inequities in society, like health related, social inequality, racial inequality. Like there are so many different things that the pandemic really exacerbated. Judging people based on things that they can't really control really showed us how important it is to be sympathetic of everyone's experiences and to really be patient, honestly.
I guess the first thing I learned is like to not take things for granted. Having someone next to you and just like feeling their energy, it means so much. And be comfortable being vulnerable. It's okay if things aren't okay.
I've been getting really good and being more comfortable with quote unquote awkward silences, because even when we started this, there was a awkward moment of silence. Holding spaces on Zoom, being in the company of one another can be so comforting. Some of our most successful programs have been those kind of Zooms where we'll be like, hey, we'll drop off painting supplies at your door. If you want to join us on Zoom and paint to lo-fi hip hop, come and join us. I can see it applying to real life, and I'm ready to not fear the silence, but just find comfort in it. And, hopefully better serve people who are more introverted or who don't always want to fill the silence with noise.
Now that there are ways to make things more accessible, virtual office hours offerings that make it so much easier for students to connect with professors because they don't have to worry about okay, well, I have to walk 15 minutes to get to the office hours, and by that time there's only this much of office hours left. Or having captioning and ASL services available for events in different across campus. So I think that's my thing, is making things and increasing accessibility on campus. It feels like there's now a precedent for it, and I'm so happy about that.
I really loved everyone's responses. One common theme that I'm really hearing here is, authenticity and gratitude and human connection and almost the, fragility of life that we've learned from this time, and kind of how all those things affect how we're going to feel coming out of this.
You just summed up everything so beautifully. I think that's what I was trying to say, but just came out different.
When I think about UCLA, the first thing that comes to mind is my daughter, Kayla, her laughing and waving to friends on Jan's steps. Family is everything to me. Not just the family that we are born into, it is also the family that we create. Right after I transferred to UCLA from Los Angeles Pierce College as a design media arts major, I was worried that I wouldn't be able to produce quality work if I did not have the proper tools. That's where my department came in. My advisor, Helen Tran, guided me to resources and walked me through each step. And then my department awarded me with various scholarships. And I have to mention Peter Lunenfeld for all of his support. That's family. As in the case with any family, things aren't always perfect. In my first year, some of us felt the need for community. We began developing socials. And through those events, we learned about our shared experiences. There was a strong need for change. We wanted to see more artists who explore themes of politics and activism in their work. At first, we faced resistance, so we created Disrupt, a student organization dedicated to art, anti-racism, and equity. We found the staff and the leadership who were willing to support our ideas. This last year, we partnered with the Fowler Museum to create a series called Disrupt the Fowler, a space where we feature artists like Justin Bua, a multiracial NY native who blends hip-hop street culture with fine arts. We also found administrators willing to hear us. We initiated a survey of DMA students and found out about the discrimination they were facing. When we shared these results, folks listened. We worked together to create the School of Arts and Architecture's first Anti-Racism, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Commission. We are now actively changing the way the school approaches key practices in hiring, admissions, and mentorship. A healthy family relationship is a balance of rupture and repair, of give and take, and self-care is crucial. We have to take care of ourselves in order to give back. Both the challenges and the environment to create change are here at UCLA. And to all of the transfer students listening today, I now pass this light on to you. Make this experience your own. You were chosen to be here. You are UCLA. Let there be light, y'all. Peace.
When I was younger, I was obsessed with sitcoms. I would spend hours watching beautiful families live perfect lives. And if you've seen enough shows, you'll notice certain tropes, like the working class delivery man. He comes to the door with a mysterious package and sends the characters off on an adventure to be solved in the next 30 minutes. And then he is never seen from again. He is integral to their world, but not a part of it. When my dad was a commuter student at UCLA, he made deliveries to help pay for tuition. And as he traveled throughout LA, he often found himself in Glendale, the Jewel City, known for its clear skies and the way it sparkles in the sun. And he thought to himself, why shouldn't I live here? And 5 years later, he did. First alone and then with me. And the city did sparkle, but it was also blinding. Living in a former sundown town with a Black population of less than 1%, existing was like a never-ending performance. I felt like a minor character in the world. There, but never fully a part of it. Friends and teachers alike bombarded me with questions. Where are you really from? Is your dad in jail? Why does your hair grow like that? Can I touch it? I was born in Glendale. I was raised by my dad. And no, you cannot touch my hair. And after years of being perceived as one-dimensional, I decided to attend a university where I could be me.
The first time I saw Royce Hall, I remember thinking, this looks like one of my sitcoms. And not because of the beautiful architecture, but because everyone just looked happy. And these happy people were not a monolith. They were Black, brown, queer themselves. And over the last 4 years, I've had a chance to become more unapologetically myself as a Black woman. I fought for equity with knowledge as a research fellow with the Bunch Center for African American Studies. I contributed to transformational policy as a policy fellow with the LA Civil Rights Department. And now, I intend to become the first person in my family to become a lawyer, using the law to serve my people. For all its grandeur, let me be clear. UCLA is no utopia, and the realities of life don't magically stop once you hit Veteran Avenue. Still, UCLA is giving me a space to better understand myself. I'm a person who likes to tell a few too many jokes, and I'm a bit too cocky. But above all, I'm not a minor character in anyone's story. I am the story, and so are you.
We spend months drilling 25 plus combinations that can be executed to any song. Our stamina and showmanship are constantly put to the test, all in preparation for game day. We do this for an audience that often misses our athleticism, and our performance is simply entertainment. But as a member of a team that performs as a unit, the struggles of that smiling cheerleader are overlooked. Even though I've danced my whole life, when I go into the athletic space, I am confronted with toxic definitions of masculinity that doesn't have room for male dancers. In these moments, I have to keep smiling and swallow my pain. I remember my first encounter with an audience member who found my presence distasteful. He was seated directly in front of me, so I couldn't avoid his pointing finger or his provoking facial expressions. For 30 minutes, I had to smile in the face of mockery. My racial and cultural authenticity when on a team with predominantly white women is called into question too. But I've accepted my difficult pursuit in dancing, all while creating new definitions of masculinity and navigating what it truly means to be authentic. And I'm grateful to say I'm the first male on the UCLA dance team, but I can't simply find someone who can completely relate to my circumstances. What keeps me motivated, though, are my loved ones, teammates, and coaches. They've helped me learn that I can honor myself, my full self. When the LA Times wrote about me, Black and Asian male dancers of all ages started contacting me with affirmations and questions. Their messages was a reminder that I'm blazing a path, and this is inspiring young boys, once like me, to pursue their passions amidst the lack of representation. I believe that when we go against the grain and confront the limitations of social categories, we create opportunities for those who never thought they had a chance. And once you realize that the only thing in life you can control is yourself, there's an endless capacity for making change.
All right, everybody, let's get some things out the way. I am transgender. I was assigned female at birth. I am Tamil Sri Lankan American. When I was younger, I looked like this, and nobody gave me flack about it. Everybody just called me a tomboy. This story is not about my queerness. but it is. I remember one day when I was little, I came home complaining about one of my teachers, and my appa, my father, said, listen, don't argue with them even if they're wrong, huh? Just put your head down, keep your eyes glued to your books, and then you will succeed. Then after you succeed, you can say any shit you want. The last part, he didn't say. But that was the gist of it. See, my parents were on land that they felt like visitors to. They felt that if they were quiet, that they would at least survive. They just wanted a peaceful life. But this land was my land. I was the first to be born here, in Queens. Not that I remember that shit. Because I was raised in Lancaster, a super hick town just 1 hour away from Los Angeles, where in the mid-1800s, the KKK established its first West Coast church. And the Tamil Sri Lankan community, we were like flies in the buttermilk in Lancaster. But we dubbed the city Sri Lancaster. So one day, I'm in the 6th grade looking like this, and a girl comes up to me and asks me if I'm gay. I mean, she didn't really ask me if I was gay. She was like, are you? And I was like, no. Yikes! So soon after that, I started dressing and behaving like a girl because I didn't want nobody to sniff me out. Because queer people, we have this smell. Just kidding. And on the real, as a kid, I didn't know anything about queer people. All I knew was that you could probably get killed if you were one. And was I really queer? I mean, wasn't I just like a boy in a girl's body? And while I'm trying to navigate all of this, thank God for hip-hop in the late 80s. Black MCs talking about their communities, about racism, about the injustice on Black lives. Yo, I wanted to be loud like that. I wrote for myself and I wrote to escape. This brown kid stuck in an immigrant family in a hick town. I wrote horribly. But truthfully and honestly, mimicry with humility. And only after surviving being a closeted queer in Lancaster did I slowly make my way back to being a boy at UCLA. Because I saw other queer folks living out loud and free regardless of the cost. UCLA is where I got to write and perform. I tested the waters. I got loud with other loud students about war, injustice, police brutality, racism, just like hip-hop told me. But about my queerness, for some reason I couldn't write about that. I mean, everybody knew, right? Like, why did I have to be loud about that too? So crazy how we could love being us and hate it at the same time. Then, right before I graduate UCLA, I come out to my family and it crumbles us. Should I have even told them? Now I became my family's dirty secret. So I moved to New York and it was a really rough time. So I did what I know how to do. I wrote. But this time about my queerness and my family. And you know how many people resonated with that shit? You know how many folks, immigrants or not, people of color or not, they felt themselves through my stories? And the biggest lesson, there was a place on this planet that could hold all of me. The stage. Sometimes family is worth investing the time and sometimes not. As for my family, it took a while, but we healed our hurt. I am here because of my teachers. All of them. The ones from inside school, the ones outside of schools, and not the ones I had to stay silent around, but the ones I was vocal with. The ones who didn't scold me, but gently brought me to the light. So what does that look like now for you? How do you, as young people, queer or not queer, experience community? How do you want to be loud? What's the game plan gonna be? One where we create fake worlds with fake filters, holding up fakeness as the real? Or do you want to show up with your flaws, wounds and all, bearing it all to see others bear? Because I am begging you to make this your practice. To be authentically, unapologetically you. And I beg you to find your teachers and your elders, and not just the ones who shine, but the ones who don't. And I demand you, queer or not, to not let any of those internalized phobias get in your way of being that beautiful self you know you've been aching to be. This world is a shit show and you are our power washers. Remember to honor yourself. Honor each other. Hold space for your friends to crumble and build back up together. Kick up dust together. Be loud together.
This is Bruin Life.
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 This is Bruin Life.